Hey guys, welcome to the Toy Story 7, and I'm reviewing this, which is the Imaginext DC Super Friends Batgirl City from the Legends of Batman line, so this is pretty cool. This was released at around, I'm not really sure when, I know it was 2017, and right before Toys R Us closed, they had kind of introduced a new line called Legends of Batman. Actually, you know what, it might have been 2018, because that's when Toys R Us closed, I take that back, but around 2017 they introduced the Legends of Batman line, which is pretty much a couple re-releases of some of the other things they had done, repainted with new characters, but you know, as it got towards the end of Toys R Us, as they started closing down, they started like making all these different Legends of Batman sets, and they kind of became hard to keep up with, and some of them slipped through the cracks. And this is one of them. I don't know if I ever saw this at Toys R Us, just because, like I said, when they were closing down, it was getting kind of hectic there. But I found this at Tuesday morning for $20, and I thought, why not pick it up? So it looks pretty cool in box. And this is also a repaint of the original Gotham City playset that came out in 2012. I remember when that one came out, I was a kid. I remember I got that for Christmas, and it's actually still one of my favorite sets. I actually have it in my display back here. It's where I house almost all the characters. It's always been one of my favorites, so I've always kept it and held on to it. Before I had my YouTube channel, so I didn't review it, but I'm going to review this version of it, and yeah. The back, you can see the style of Imaginext packaging. I don't really miss how it used to show you the other characters, but you can see some of the Legends of Batman sets, and as you can see, they're mostly just repaints of pre-existing Batman type sets, but I still think it was kind of a cool subline. So, I would just like to point out, it's not very easy to get Batwoman off, or not Batwoman, my bad, Batgirl off of here. Just because of how they did the wiring, the zip tie is so close to the power pad, or the actionator, as they used to be called. I will just warn you guys, it's very hard to get it off of that. Here we have the Batgirl City as the set referred to. I mean, I'm probably going to refer to this as Burnside, as in the Batgirl of Burnside Comics, I think that would be kind of like a more fitting name for this, but, you know, it's pretty cool. The original set kind of focused on, like, Batman and Joker themed colors, and that's what they've done here with Batgirl and Harley Quinn. I think that's pretty cool, where it was, like, the Joker gang or whatever, they replaced it with the Harley Quinn. I think it's pretty cool, like the Harley Quinn logos, like the name there, like the little gear thingies. Those are actually the same as the Joker ones. I think they look cool. And then where the set was blue, it's purple, which is a weird color choice, but I actually kind of like it. It's purple and yellow. It looks cool. You can see the W there, as this was intended to be Wayne Tower. And I always liked the 3 levels of play this set had. I thought it was cool as a kid. And you got down here, and there's a lot going on the front and the back. But one thing I really like about this playset is you get both Batgirl and Harley Quinn. Now, I wish they had done something different with both of these characters, as these are the same versions that have been released a couple times, so it would have been cool if they had done some kind of variant, but regardless, I think they're pretty cool, so it is pretty neat. And you got the little street lights that go across. I always like how they did that too. And you can see the gray up here, which is cool, and then you got the little gargoyle that's included. That does shoot a missile, and you do get 2 missiles, so that's pretty cool. And it seems to me, let's see, I thought there was a place you kind of like housed the little miniature bat signal, but I might be wrong. I thought that there was one included. Maybe it was just used to plug on this. I thought there was a bat signal included on the original. But the playset does have some really cool features too over here. If you swing this out, you get this little stairway, which is pretty cool. I always liked that this moved up or down, or moved sideways. I thought that was neat. Another cool thing about this is if you turn this sideways, you'll notice this little hole here, which you could hide a character, but it's also good for hiding the money bag, which comes with the bank feature, which I'll show off in a second. There's just a lot to do here, and like with the bank, we come over here, and we turn this, and then boom, the side of the bank blows open, and money bag revealed, and like I mentioned, over here, you just slide the money there, and hide it. And it goes perfectly into the gang glare. So I always thought this blowing off wall was really cool as a kid, and it's something I still think is kind of cool, to be honest, because you don't see this a lot on concepts, or, you know, like with kind of concept you used to, but you don't see it as much anymore. And I like how it just folds back up, so it doesn't really mess with the playset. And if you turn it this way, you can open the door to the bank, but if you turn it this way and then push a little bit, it blows open. So that's kind of cool. And the other power pad of this set, what it does is you kind of put it down here. Well, you turn the power pad up here, and it's a working elevator. And then you pull it through this way, and then boom, Batgirl comes up and the doors close and you have the Batgirl signal revealed. Now this is entirely the same as how the Batman one was, the original Gotham City, and I think it's a really cool feature that they included. I'm kind of glad they brought it back. The only thing I would advise is just be careful with these door pieces. Mine has a little bit of trouble going down, but aside from that, it's pretty good. But be careful with these door pieces, because I remember they broke off on the original one that I had. So just be careful with these, because they're a little flimsy, but I think they're kind of cool. And I also like how the top of the building is shaped like a bat mask or bat ears, and she can stand up there too, so that's pretty cool. This part here is the police station, and it's pretty neat. One thing I really like, though, is on this side here, we have a ladder and a jail cell, and we have a Wayne Enterprise poster with Wayne Enterprises and with Bruce Wayne on it. Now, this is really cool, because on the original one, it actually was spray painted by the Joker, and Bruce's face was all, like, Jokerized. So it's just really cool that they actually include a normal version of this on this one, because I was expecting them to do the same thing if they include anything on it. And this is the original one that I was talking about, so it's really cool. Like, they did not have to do this, but I think that's so cool that they kind of changed it up a little bit and gave you, like, you know, the same poster, but just on graffitied. I think that's kind of cool. And now for the back of the playset here, we have the little jail cell, which is cool. I always liked that there was a jail included. I felt like there was a lot going on in the city scene, and it's pretty neat. And then back here you have the little backs of each kind of top floor, and then you can see the inside of the elevator, you have the inside of the bank over here, and then you have this little section, and this is supposed to be like the Harley Quinn or Joker layer. On the original, you can see there's a ladder growing up, but really cool, there's this wall here, and you just kind of hit it, and then boom, it busts open, kind of like the wall is exploding. I always thought that was pretty cool. And originally this was purple on the original playset, but I like it being red because it kind of looks like bricks. And then over here, you have this, which, if I'm going to be honest, if I had one complaint about this version of the playset, I would just say this doesn't really make a lot of sense. But you pull it back, and then you have space for a car or Batmobile to drive through. Now, they did make a Batmobile, they made a Batgirl version of the Batmobile for this series, so it would fit through here. The only thing is, like, the cool idea about this was, this is supposed to be a case that holds the Batsuit. This version of Batman was included in the original Gotham City, and you could take this mask and put it through here. But the Batgirl in this suit doesn't feature any kind of removable mask, so while this is cool, it really adds nothing to this set because there's no way to use it unless you own the original Batman mask, and since it's kind of like the Batgirl playset, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense to have the Batman mask there. So I guess maybe that's why they, they obviously didn't include it, but I kind of wish they would have went with a removable mask for Batgirl or something for this, because again, it doesn't really line up. Like, it's cool, but it feels a little weird. And yeah, that's like the only thing I would really say doesn't line up, but I do like this, and I liked it on the original quite a lot. I always thought it was cool. It doesn't really fit into this set, and kind of because of how it's spaced, you can't, like, you can kind of put Batgirl in there, but it just doesn't really work in the way that it did on the original. Now, this is the 2014 Imaginext Batmobile, which I feel is a very underrated Batmobile because it's pretty cool looking, just in terms of design and everything. And any Batmobile this size will fit through here, and any other Batmobile, what I mean is like the 2011 Batmobile, pretty much all of the standard Batmobiles will fit. It's just the larger ones like the Ninja Batmobile and the motorized Batmobile that will not fit in here. And as you can see, it just kind of like pushes back in there, and it gets a little stuck, but it's supposed to be like this kind of door opens here, and Batmobile can just come through. So I think this is kind of cool. And again, I do like this. I wish it would have included some kind of way or changed this in some way that it would have worked a little bit better. So overall, my final opinions on this set is it's actually pretty cool. While I don't really feel that a Batgirl City is needed, I do like that they remade this mold or remade this playset and brought it back out because it was a pretty cool playset. And again, like as a Batgirl City, it's kind of weird because like there isn't a Batman city. So like I think this should have been named Burnside. Maybe they couldn't use the name. I don't know. That's for like part of the parts of Gotham or the city that she protects in one of the more recent comics. But yeah, I do like that they included Harley Quinn. I thought it was really cool. I think it's cool that you get both characters in this set. I don't know if any other stores are still carrying this. You could probably find this at like a Ollie's or something if you're still interested in this. I think it's pretty neat. I like it. And yeah, it's an overall really cool playset in general. You know, we have a lot of like Bat Caves, we have a lot of like Superman stuff and Justice League stuff, but you don't have a lot of everyday like Gotham City, Metropolis type playsets. So by having this playset, you kind of have an everyday street scene, and I really do like that. I like that concept of like an everyday playset, you know, just that's kind of like tied to the DC universe. And I always thought this was cool when it was released originally, and I think it's cool now. And yeah, thank you for watching. Please rate, like, and subscribe.